The situation and the trends of the 2024 U.S. election. Daoly's Reasoning, Episode 6. The U.S. general election is less than 3 months away, and this is something that everyone is concerned about. I don't have a crystal ball to predict the future, but it's worth trying to make an estimate of the current campaign situation. Today, I want to analyze the development trends and what advantages American conservative forces may have. 1. Polls. Before Biden announces his withdrawal from the presidential race on July the 21st, there was little doubt that Trump was leading Biden, because whether it is a right-leaning poll, a left-leaning poll, or the average of various polls, such as RCP, Real Clear Politics, especially in key swing states, mainly in the Rust Belt states of Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Michigan, Trump's rating was ahead of Biden. After Harris replaced Biden, the most recent national average polls in early August show that the Democratic Party has surpassed the Republican Party and is basically even in swing states. The Democratic Party changed horse midway, and voters were tired of Biden and had a new feeling for Harris. This is the so-called honeymoon period. Whether it will last, I will not speculate here. We will wait and see. In addition, some analysts have reported that leftist polling agencies have also used some tricks, such as oversampling left-leaning voters to distort the truth. A key point here is that polls are speculations, while the difference between polls and actual results is a fact, and the difference between the two is systematic error. The pattern of differences between polls and election results in 2020 was that polls were heavily in favor of Biden, especially in swing states. For example, in Wisconsin, Biden was leading by 5 points in the polls, but the actual results is less than 1%. This means there is 4% systematic error. This fact is crucial. A scientific method should take the systematic error into account. For example, if Harris' poll leads by 2 points, but the systematic error is 4 points, the actual result is that Trump still leads by 2 points. Now, some good pollsters, such as OnPoint, uses this method. According to its estimate, on August the 11th, Trump can get 312 electoral college votes. 270 votes means winning the election. In short, as long as Harris is not far ahead on RCP, the winner will still be Trump. 2. Media. In 2022, Elon Musk acquired Twitter and renamed it X. This huge platform has gone from banning Trump to publicly supporting Trump, allowing public opinion to be freely expressed. Facebook's Zuckerberg, a major donor to the Democratic Party's 2020 campaign, has said he will no longer be involved this year. Another major Democratic donor, Sam Bankman-Fried, has been jailed. Although the left-wing media still has a numerical advantage, compared with the 2020 election, the volume of conservative media has made great progress, including newly emerged self-media such as Tucker Carlson and Megyn Kelly's show. 3. Unity. The Republican convention in mid-July was a success. The Republican Party is united. Nikki Haley, Trump's main rival, has expressed her unconditional support for Trump. Republican Senate leader McConnell also reconciled with Trump. The degree of unity of the Republican Party has exceeded that of the Democratic Party. According to the Rasmussen report on August the 8th, 84% of Republicans support Trump, which is higher than the 80% support rate for Harris among Democrats. 4. Slogan. The Republican Party's clear slogans on economy, inflation, borders, public security, and transgender issues have won the hearts of the people. Harris had to follow suit on some of his policies. For example, during the Nevada campaign, she actually copied Trump's slogan of not taxing tips. On the other hand, Trump has also shown flexibility on the premise of maintaining principles on the issues of abortion, saying that the federal government will not adopt a comprehensive ban on abortion, but will let the states decide on their own, which can win over more women votes. 5. Voting. The Republican Party is also doing its best to prevent voting fraud. Virginia Governor Youngkin issued an executive order on August 7th to use 100% paper ballots in the state, and mail-in voting must be applied for in advance. The Republican National Committee and others filed 80 lawsuits over election integrity in 20 states. As a result, Nevada removed 90,000 lapsed voter registrations. Although fraud cannot be eliminated, it is a substantial improvement compared to 2020. 6. Jewish voters. Jews only account for 2.6% of the U.S. population, but historically, more than 70% have voted for the Democratic Party. The political influence and economic influence of the Jews far exceeded its proportion of the population. The war between Israel and Hamas will inevitably push more Jewish Americans toward the Republican Party. It is particularly affected by Harris' obvious anti-Israel stance, that she was even absent from Israel's Prime Minister's speech at the U.S. Congress. On July 17th, Republican Jewish Coalition CEO spoke at the Republican Convention, which was the first time in history. 7. Candidates. The Democratic Party's Harris-Walz campaign ticket is the most radical combination in the history of the Democratic Party. Harris' father is a Marxist economic professor. Her own far-left stance on borders, immigration, public security, energy, taxation, and health insurance is the most extreme in the Democratic Party. Walz's affection for Communist China was extraordinary. He went to China more than 30 times and spent his honeymoon in Beijing on the 5th anniversary of the June 4th massacre. When he was elected governor of Minnesota, the Chinese embassy came to congratulate him. In 2020, during the Floyd incident, Black Lives Matter burned Minneapolis. The mayor asked the National Guard to intervene. Trump had thousands of guards ready, but Walz did not respond for 3 days. A large number of small and medium-sized enterprises were burned. His wife smelled the burnt tires from home, but was unwilling to close the window, saying this was a touchstone moment. This is like when the Red Guards vandalized, smashed, and looted during the Cultural Revolution of China. Communist Party radicals said that rebellion is justified and applauded the ruffian movement. Walz has a famous saying, "What some people call socialism, others call neighborliness." This is a good illustration of his worldview. He does think socialism is good. The socialist and communist team launched by the Democratic Party forms such a sharp contrast with the Trump Vance America First team that American voters should be able to see clearly. But the Democratic Party is good at using any trick. There is a report that they are trying to get illegal immigrants to vote. Who will be the stronger this time, the justice or the evil? It will determine the fate of the next few generations in the United States.